Now, I've been exploring across the United States my entire life. My home state swamps, the Appalachian Mountains, and even the Southwest deserts. But all of that is absolute child's play when you remember that Florida is a real place. This miniature Australia is the homeland of American nightmares. Giant pythons, crocodiles, toll bridges, but what really cements this place for me is the bugs that you've probably never heard of. And to search for Florida bugs, we would have to meet up with another infamous species, Florida man. Alright, so today we're with my boy. This is Zach, not to be confused with Zach. I'm Zach, but this is Zach.
Hi there, I'm Zach Cole from the YouTube channel Wild FL.
We're out here today on some sandhill habitat. It's raining, threat of rain. We already got poured on a little bit, but I'm hoping we find some stuff today. What you thinking?
I think we'll definitely find some stuff. This rain's gonna have a few things moving and even more things hunkered down to try to get cover from the rain.
Speaking of which, go for tortoise burrows.
Oh, look at that!
Snakes are gonna be out, a lot of logs to flip. I'm pretty excited about today. First time in this area, so we're gonna give it a shot. With some heavy rain heading this way, we are sure to see some pre-storm wildlife movement. And of course, you can't have a Florida outing without a snake or two. That is an awesome snake. I did not expect to see one of these guys out on the move right now, but that is a nice yellow rat snake. Ooh, he's going for my face. I always loved striped rat snake variants. We've seen the greenish rats up in coastal North Carolina. We have seen yellow rats in the past, but it's definitely been a while since I've seen one of these snakes. Now you can see easily why they're called a yellow rat. They've got a very nice yellow, what? That is so silly. Rat snakes and king snakes kind of do this thing where they figure out where you are and they kind of just feel the warmth of your body and they kind of nuzzle their head right up to it and they just go, and they bite. And I've talked about that in the past. It's really fun. Look at him, he's trying to tag me. He is trying to tag me. I'm just keeping him out of reach of my face there. Yellow rat snakes are pretty well named. They mostly eat rodents, but out here he'd be eating a lot of birds' eggs, raiding nests all the time, but they'll even be eating shrews and all those other little mammals that are out here, any kind of baby rabbits, anything they can get a hold of. And sometimes rat snakes are referred to as chicken snakes because they go into people's chicken coops and they eat all their eggs. And yellow rat snakes are no exception to that. They love to eat chicken eggs. Oh my goodness, you're gonna bite. Whoa! That's crazy. What I love about yellow rats is they've got those pretty red eyes. Very, very vibrant red eyes. Well, while this is a decently common species here in Florida, I virtually never get to see them. And they are just an awesome snake species. There are actually other rat snake species out here. There are corn snakes, also known as red rat snakes. And then we also get some variants of gray rat snakes out here. A little bit north of here, you get the Gulf hammock rat snakes, and they're all blotched. And I love that distinction between a striped rat snake and then the blotched ones that we get back home. A great looking animal, a great looking snake, and a great way to start the day. Even though it's pretty dreary and rainy out here, clearly animals are on the move. So we're gonna go ahead and put this guy back, keep looking for more. But that is a big old yellow rat snake. Awesome stuff. Don't bite me. Woo! That's not great. We're carrying metal sticks. And we're carrying I didn't even realize that. Just a couple of guys. Looking for venomous creatures. We don't have a death wish. Now, rain is only really bad if I get struck by lightning or break all my camera equipment, because all of the burrow-dwelling species come to the surface during heavy storms like this. I wouldn't exactly call this optimal, but I definitely wasn't going to stop searching for our target.
The rain is really starting to come down. It's speeding up a little bit, and we don't necessarily want to be out here with all of our camera gear. But the cool thing about the rain is that it does make it somewhat easier to find animals if you're willing to stomach the water. The animals will usually be hunkered down in a spot, you know, maybe under a piece of bark or under some leaves, under a palmetto leaf or something, kind of like this right here. These are these big palmetto leaves that might make really good coverage for something trying to get out of the rain.
Yowzer. That's not great. I remembered that I have this thing called camera equipment with me, And I probably shouldn't just get wet, so I'm chilling out under a palmetto leaf for a while. There's still a chance I absolutely ruined all my camera equipment, but we press on. As soon as this lightens up, I'm getting back and I'm getting to flipping logs. Vinegaroon! Yes! Yes! Woo, look at that bug! Yeah, boy! Well, guys, here it is. This is one of my major targets here in Central Florida. This is a Florida Vinegaroon, an actually fairly uncommon species that can be found here. Now, you might be looking at this thing and thinking, Zachary, that thing is freaky as all get out, and clearly you shouldn't be touching it. That thing can do something to you, right? No, very harmless species.
Oh, and here's Zach. It looks like he's found something. Vinegaroon. What do you got? A Vinegaroon? Vinegaroon. Oh my God. Dude, that's the first one I've ever seen in Florida. That's the first wild one I've ever seen.
He's a chunker.
That's amazing. Did he spray you yet?
Yeah, when I first found him, he did.
Wow.
He's so tough.
That's cool. They're so alien looking. So Vinegaroons typically start moving around the end of July, the beginning of August into September is usually whenever you have your best chances of finding them. But you just flipped this guy and called me and I came running. And
rain makes things different.
And it's been so dry here in Florida. Our rainy season for the beginning of the summer just hasn't really happened in the way that we typically expect it to happen here.
And then I showed up during rain, which is great for filming. It makes everything better, especially when you're carrying around lightning rods to where you can die to. It's really great timing. But the rain is really good for stuff. Like, everything needs rain, and it brings fossorial stuff like this to the surface where, like he said, this is a species that moves around more end of summer. This is something that you typically see at nighttime during the summer, moving around, hunting for prey, and doing their thing. But this is just an odd occurrence. Fossorial stuff is just so weird. There's so little that we actually know about the lifestyle of these animals. And I mean, just look at this thing. It's crazy.
Vinegaroons are really popular in the pet trade, and a lot of the ones that you see online are actually collected from here in Florida, which is technically poaching. And the reason that they're collected is because they do make such good pets. I mean, this is a wild one, and Zach and I are able to just handle it like it's no big deal.
Chill.
And they're very chill animals. You can see that, like, I'm pushing my fingers up onto him, and he's just backing up. He's just giving me a little bit of space. And for an arachnid that looks incredibly scary, they've got these claws up front. And those look like the pinchers that, like, what a scorpion or a pseudoscorpion has, which is one of their arachnid relatives. It is still very rainy here today. But they've got these claws that look like pinchers, but they're not. They're actually just sort of these little clubs that they use to kind of grab onto stuff and sort of hug them to death. And then they bite down with their mouth. But their mouths are just so tiny that it's nothing that we have to worry about. And their main defense mechanism is right back here at the bottom of this tail. That is where they get their namesake, Vinegaroon, because they shoot out acetic acid at the base right here. Acetic acid is the same thing as vinegar, and that's exactly what it smells like, and he has a slight vinegar smell to him, even though he hasn't sprayed us.
He did it when he was flipped, so when I found him initially, he did spray, but like I haven't gotten it since then. So you can see that when they're startled, they're gonna do that. That's just what they do. After that, they're really chill. And once again, this is not a species to be concerned about. Obviously, you never want to mess with something you can't identify. If you know with 100% certainty that you are looking at a Vinegaroon, whether it's one out west or one over here, it is 100% safe. And while I know not everybody is going to want to handle a creepy bug like this, just know if you see one in your house out west, or really anywhere out in nature, this is a perfectly safe species. And here in Florida, this is actually a pretty rare occurrence to see. So if you do see one, consider yourself lucky. I know that I am definitely lucky, as I was just straight suffering out here until this bug came along. So really great species, crazy weather, so we're gonna go ahead and get out of it. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to check out the other crazy Florida species we found a few months ago right north of here, the red widow spider, one of my favorites. And we will see you guys next time. You want to go ahead and get the release on us?
Absolutely, we'll put them right back down here.